friends. Welcome to my channel. I'm Rainy and this is Rainy Day Reads. And today we are going to just talk about my September reading and crafty plans because there are a lot of them. I feel like September, obviously everybody starts going crazy for autumn and even though it is still summer out there, and I am not somebody who tries to rush the seasons, but at the same time, when it has been over 90 degrees in my town for like the last month, and this past weekend has been in the 70s, it is really hard to hang on to that summer vibe. And I am slowly transitioning into the fall girly. So I am starting to think about all the cozy fall reading and crafting that I'm going to be doing. And the Victober announcement videos just came out today, and the Victorian literature community is just going nuts. This is the 10th year of Victober, so it is a big, big deal to all of us nerds out there. We are, very excited in the nerd community to have our cozy reading and crafting really kick into high gear around here. So September is like the lead up to all of that, and I have a ton of reading and crafting plans all condensed into 1 month, and then it's just going to keep going. So until I get burned out, because haha, that's what happens all the time. And but until then, let's just talk about what I have planned for September in my reading and crafting life. So let's start with my reading plans for September. Now, I was just browsing the YouTubes one day, as you do, and two of my BookTube friends are hosting September readathons or reading challenges, and I just decided I needed to be involved, even though they're very extensive, involved readathons. So the first one that I decided to do is the 30 Books in 30 Days readathon or reading challenge hosted by Kaylee over at Luminous Libros. Now, I am probably not going to actually read 30 books in 30 days, but she also says that you can make a commitment to reading for 30 minutes every day for her challenge. That's what I am going to do. I'm going to challenge myself to physically read for 30 minutes a day. Now, you might be saying, Rainy, you're a booktuber. This should be like a no-brainer for you. Au contraire, because now that I am a crafter, I need to multitask most of the time. So I have been relying a lot on audiobooks over the past probably year, so that I can craft and read at the same time. However, I have been missing reading with my eyeballs. So in the past few weeks at least, I have been trying to pick up a physical book or an ebook and read it with my eyeballs. And I'm just going to make sure that I focus on setting a timer for 30 minutes every day and make myself read physically for that amount of time. That doesn't mean that I'm not also going to do audiobooks. I totally am, but I want to make sure that I'm reading physically for those 30 minutes for the next 30 days. So the other readathon, now this is like an actual readathon with a theme and everything, comes from Cheryl at Candlewick Library, and she has a few other hosts as well, which I have not watched yet, but I will get to those. But I will leave her announcement video down below, and she links to all her other co-hosts. and that is the Back to Hogwarts readathon. Now, I used to do a readathon that centered on Hogwarts pretty regularly, but that readathon no longer happens, and I have actually really been missing it. So Cheryl's readathon is a lot like that one, where she takes a bunch of different courses of study from Hogwarts, from the Harry Potter series, and connects them with a reading prompt. So I printed out. She has a printout of all the coursework and how many books you have to read to get an owl level and all the different levels in the Hogwarts um, grading system. And I'm just, instead of having a TBR for that, I'm just going to read and hopefully be able to plug the books that I read into those prompts. And hopefully, if I get stuck, if I don't have something to read and I need a suggestion, then I will use one of the prompts to pick my next read. But that's just an easier way for me to do it, because there were like, I think 10 or so prompts. And I'm like, oh, there's probably no way I'm going to read 10 books this month. But yeah, so we're gonna try that route and see how it goes. But I really was excited to have another Hogwarts readathon in the fall months. It just seems like what I'm supposed to do because I used to do it all the time. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I am planning, hopefully, to do weekly vlogs for the month of September. So hopefully you will be able to see periodically what prompts I am picking for the Hogwarts readathon. There's already 3 books that I have on my TBR. Well, 2 books and a play. And the 2 of them are for buddy reads, and one of them is for Kate Howell's Victorian Patreon. And that book for Kate Howell's Patreon is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. And we will be reading that over the course of the next 2 months. So it will go into Victober. But this is a reread for me, but this is one that I am going to try to read physically this time, because the last time I read it, I listened to it. And it's become apparent to me that I need to read Dickens with my eyeballs because I often finish an audiobook of Dickens and really don't remember anything that I read. And that is the case with Our Mutual Friend. I remember little tidbits about it, but nothing that sticks with me, and that's a shame. So that's going to be my physical read, among other things, but that's the one that I'm going to try to make myself read every day for at least 30 minutes because I hopefully will be able to get it read by the end of October, but it's Victober for me now. And yeah, just hopefully that will help me to remember Our Mutual Friend better the second time around. And then for another readathon that I used to co-host, but I am not anymore, but I still like to participate when I can, is Shaktember. And I will leave Kelly's announcement video down below. She is one of the hosts now. And I'll leave her announcement video down below. And for this, I am going to be buddy reading Measure for Measure with a couple of friends from Bookstagram. And yeah, that I'm excited. I feel like I have read Measure for Measure before, but again, I really don't remember it. So I need to, read it with some friends and discuss it, and hopefully that will cement it in my mind a little bit more. I'm sure I read it in school, but who knows? And then the last book that is currently on my TBR that I need to start today is Eleanor's Victory by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. That is another Victorian book that I am reading with a friend of mine, and we have been reading we're trying to get through all of Mary Elizabeth Braddon's canon. And we're also reading Margaret Oliphant together. So it's like every other month we choose one of their which author we're going to read that month. So I guess, oh yeah, I already know next month is a Oliphant. So yeah, so Eleanor's Victory, I have no recollection of what this is about, so I can't tell you. But yeah, I think it'll be a good time, and it comes highly recommended by Kate Howe, who is our Victorian literature guru. So yes, she recommended it, and she's excited to hear what Joe and I think of it. So yeah, we're excited. All right, so that is the end of the reading portion. So let's talk about what I will be crafting this month. Now, originally, I had some other plans for September for my stitching, but Leanne from Leanne Stitches and Forbidden Fiber Co. has a birthday in September. And Leanne also loves to read. And she is the owner of Forbidden Fiber Co. And she also creates cross-stitch patterns. And a lot of them are bookish. So she decided that not only does she want us to wants to do a birthday sal on her actual birthday, which is September 5th, for a bookish for some, if you want to work on a bookish whip or start a new bookish pattern. But she also decided she was going to work on bookish patterns for the whole of September and call it Storytime September. So I was like, I have to get on board with that. That is right up my alley. So I pulled out all of my bookish themed patterns, and I have 6 in total. So I am just going to be rotating those throughout the month, and yeah, I'm excited about it. So I will put up on the screen, I'll either rotate through them or I'll try to make like one big graphic of all 6 of them. But I have pulled for this challenge, for this stitch along, I have pulled my Anne of Green Gables pattern by Heaven and Earth Designs, my Rivendell pattern by Country Magic Stitch, Grand Library Fire, which is also a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern, Minnie the Library, Heaven and Earth Designs, and Midsummer Night's Dream Fairy, which will go lovely with Shake Timber as well. And that is by Mirabilia, and Northanger Abbey, which is a Quaker pattern to celebrate the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's death, which was created by Twin Peaks Primitives. So those are my 6 patterns that I'm going to be rotating through. I'm going to attempt 1,000 stitches on each pattern before I switch, but that might be hard to do because it usually takes me about a week to get through, to get 1,000 stitches. And I've been in a slower stitching mood lately, so I might cut it to like 500 before I switch it up. We're just gonna see how this works, how it goes, how fast I can get through them. But I also have some non-bookish patterns that I want to work on. One of them is Patriotic Typeface. It's another one in the series. I finished the Statue of Liberty pattern in July, and I'll be working on the Uncle Sam pattern with my friends Leanne from Small Town Stitches and Alicia from Adventures of Stitching. And I think Leanne told us that if we do 64 stitches a day, we will get done with this tiny little pattern by the end of the month. So I feel like I can swing that, hopefully. And then I'm also wanting to continue a strand a day or 100 stitches a day on Sugar Plum Dreams, because I did not work on it as much as I had hoped to in August, and I'd really like to get that finished sooner rather than later. So I want to continue working on it. So those are my only two planned whips that are not bookish for this month. So there you have it. Not a super long video, and hopefully I can, edit out a little bit so, you don't have to sit here too long hearing about my plans. But I hope you are having a wonderful September. Are you participating in any read-alongs this month? Readathons, read-alongs? Are you participating in any stitch-alongs this month? And what are you participating in Storytime September with Leanne and myself? And yeah, let me know all the things. And Victober announcement videos came out today. Are you as excited as the rest of the Victorian reading community is? Please tell me. So many people have already started working on their TBRs. I have a few things, but now that I have all the prompts, I need to start working on that too. So that's part of my September plans too, to get a TBR nailed down so that I can do a Victober TBR video, because that is part of the fun of Victober. So yay. All right, friends, I hope you're having a great start to your September. Happy Labor Day if you are in the States. And I will see you in my vlog, hopefully, at the end of the week. All right, bye, friends.